This is how The Last of Us starts. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Dusty Mac, and thank you for joining me on this OA reaction series. Today, we are on the penultimate episode for the OA series in general. This one is Season 2, Episode 7, Nina Azarova. Last time on the OA, it was focusing more on the 5 kids and BBA. They're continuing the road trip, and Jesse was kind of having these panic attacks or this PTSD attacks from, the school shooting that they were all in, and everyone was kind of ignoring him, and they went to BBA's uncle's house who was dying, and Jesse ended up stealing fentanyl patches, and he OD'd. And it was pretty hard. I think Steve really took it harder than the rest of them, because he jumped out of the car and he ran back to where Jesse's body was, and for hours it seemed he was just doing those moves and the movements, and to no avail. I mean, even Buck tried to do it with Steve, and then Buck couldn't get the emotions right or something, so BBA stepped in and it still wouldn't work. So yeah, that one was just kind of the most difficult episode yet for us and for the characters in the show. And I think BBA also kind of figured out that, she was hearing these voices and she's not actually going crazy. I think she's a medium, because they said only mediums can Now, did they say that mediums are the only ones that can harness an angelic form or host, I guess it would be called? Because once we saw that girl leave that dimension with the cubes, that body just fell, and then her angelic consciousness goes to another version of that body. Is that the same thing that's going to kind of happen with BBA once she does end up jumping, if she does? Because at the very end we saw that FBI agent, somehow he can help them and he kind of knows what they're doing. So I don't know if we're going to find that out, or maybe I just completely missed it or something and just looked over it. But anyway, guys, if you like these reactions and want to keep seeing more just like it, please make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm and subscribe, and hit that little bell in the corner, because it'll tell you when my next video comes out, which is usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I also do some bonus videos and barely stream. And if you guys want to support the channel financially, the Patreon and everything else is down below. And with the Patreon, you're going to get these reactions full length in a week or weeks before the YouTube audience. So for example, right now, today, you guys can already go over there and watch the OA series finale. I was going to call it a season 2 finale, but next episode is the last episode we're going to get for the OA. Right now, I don't know how they're going to wrap anything up, because we got to know who the angels are, who that Katoon woman was, what are the angels, are Homer and Prairie the OA going to get together? Lots of unanswered questions. So if you guys want to go find those out along with me, go check the Patreon out right now, as well as exclusive series, polls, and movies. So if that interests you, please go check that out. If not, it'll be up here next week. And yeah, I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode of the OA. This one is Season 2, Episode 7, Nina Azarova. Let's do it. No one has ever thought to bring in a whole squad of police or army or something into this crazy labyrinth house. You'd think that once one person went missing, they would just bring in a whole bunch of people, search the house. I'm still kind of confused on what this house is and what the hell the squid was.
What's up? I don't know, man.
Is the house changing with the dimensions, maybe? Or is it a multi-dimensional house that's kind of always changing and reforming itself? Was that a glimpse into another dimension? Or another one of her selves? So the roots that she was talking to, the earth, I guess, they just brought her back up.
Oh, you're awake.
Okay, so we actually did find her.
You took me out of the house.
You were on the verge of death.
Yeah, that's what you saw.
And she was an old lady. So she was doing a test or something?
You each have dangerous levels of mercury sulfide in your blood. It's emanating in the area.
Mercury
Is that
gas?
enough mercury sulfide to produce hallucinations?
More than enough.
So
You
that's-
need to detox.
Is that really what happened? Or 'cause it felt like there was more supernatural stuff going on than just
He's deliberately poisoning kids.
This predates Ruskin. Native Americans considered it sacred.
because it's
Their
poisonous?
priests used the vapors to induce prophetic trances.
Poisonous.
You're gonna die in there, or you're gonna lose your mind.
I know if I can get to the rose window, I can see the truth.
It's just hallucinations though, right?
I have some kids, get old, die, and leave my high net worth to a kid who doesn't even know why she's alive either.
Study philosophy, or religion.
I don't see a fault in her logic, to be completely honest. I like that line, though. Give an inheritance to a kid that doesn't even know why they're alive. That's like the realest thing that's been said this entire show.
All kinds of people have been here looking for you. Your boyfriend, tall man with dark hair who's not your boyfriend, another man with dark hair, maybe also your boyfriend.
I only have one boyfriend, Al. He didn't come because he's forgotten who I am.
How
Actually,
could you forget
I do
her?
have another one, but I haven't met him yet.
He's like, this bitch is crazy.
Oh my God, Nina.
Get ransacked.
They must have come in at night.
Looking for clues in her books, maybe. This is a good-ass doorman.
They were looking for something.
Obviously.
For what? Something more valuable than pearls?
The eye. Gonna be one of those robots that's too small. Thumb drive.
You feel up to sharing the details of your conversation with Scott?
I wonder if he's gonna confront him about that woman not being at the hospital, because, I mean, is that an Xbox One S? It's an odd system to see in a show.
I saw her away. And Hap didn't call her away. He called her Bryn or something.
Bryn?
And she kissed him like they were a couple. And then the older woman says, I'm here to give you the third movement.
What do you
Sorry,
think it means?
they're mowing.
Thanks. Dr. Percy, Rachel DeGrazzo is in at Perkins.
Rachel's dead.
No, you took her. You banged her, and then she jumped.
The truth is, I've been worried you might be getting lost. Fuck. It's okay. It's an occupational hazard. Your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. You empathize so deeply with others.
So this isn't the Homer from the other dimension. This is just another Homer, right? That
You let me help you?
Angel Homer could jump into.
Can you?
Yeah, just come into my basement.
We'll work through this, okay?
Okay.
You rely on him way too much for way too much. If he's your only out, dude, like, it sounds like a very toxic relationship they have together.
Green.
What happened? Where have you been?
I fell asleep in a park. It was a tree, and it just...
We were poisoned by vapors from under the house.
I think I found something important.
Is it another interview that, like, one of the interviews with actual information that was given? Or is it, like, the movements?
I'm out, Nina.
Fuck.
So she collapsed. So I'm guessing that the rose window or whatever, that's like a doorway to like another dimension?
What else do you remember?
I'm from another dimension.
I was just thinking the same thing, you know? Nina knows things.
I don't know how this works. She comes out in flashes.
Oh, how convenient.
It does seem very convenient.
Get off my boat.
We have to find Buck.
We have to find her.
Him.
I think you know where Michelle is.
Or you allowed something to be done to her.
Reality is stranger and more complicated than you or I could possibly know.
What is that saying? Like, there's more wonders in heaven and earth that are dreamt of in your philosophies, my dear Horatio. Something like that.
Calling the cops. Until I find a body, I'm still on this case.
Run away.
I'm gonna release you from the clinic, Scott.
You just want to keep Renata here because you need someone who knows the movements.
I'm done with the movements, all of it.
Yeah, he's got little robots.
Before you leave, help me with an experiment.
There it is. There's always
And
a
what would it take
catch-22.
to tempt you?
Let Renata go too. You let her go, I'll be your lab rat. One last time.
It might be the one last time, though. And I'd want him to, you know, free Renata before the experiment began, because he could kill you, and then, you know, she didn't know you made that deal. It's not like he's gonna honor it very well. She's dead. She's gonna look all gross. Crow's pecking at her face. Okay, not so bad. All right.
I don't like water.
You wouldn't have liked the other dimension then.
Mo?
Holy shit, I'm trying to have a baby.
Seriously?
I'm in labor.
Oh, she's giving a home birth.
This has photographic evidence of the murder of Dr. Rhodes. It also has a video of the missing girl.
Don't worry, I got this.
Do I look worried?
Is that his baby?
Yes.
That shot made me a little nervous. It showed Kareem split into three. I don't know if that's going to have any implications going forward, or...
Nina, Alexei is so mad about the octopus.
What the fuck is the octopus? Why? Why was that even in this series?
When you started making performances from your own dreams, you bring me many customers.
Does it, like, enhance her mediumness?
You're the one Dr. Percy loves. Who are you?
Was that the one that jumped?
Think of me in any way you like. An advisor, a guide.
Is she another angel?
You're a traveler like me. Can you remember the memories of the body you're inside of?
I integrate. I
So she doesn't-
share in the experiences of all the bodies that are me.
Is the show Travelers a continuation of the OA? Because if it is, I'm just going to jump right into that series after this. But if not, let me know.
I have to expose Hap so Homer will come to his senses.
You, Hap, and Homer are traveling together.
So they're almost like soulmates connected throughout the multiverse?
When did you first meet Hap?
7 years ago.
That's around when Nina met Dr. Percy.
So the events in one dimension
affect the other dimensions around it.
Choices split off. That's kind of what I believe. Every decision splits off into a new universe. And
when I met Buck and started to tell him the story, Michelle begins playing the game. Everything is connected. So how do we escape?
You need Hap.
So
I have
her
given
and
Hap
Hap are
something.
connected. So she gave him the robots.
If you want to rescue Homer, you must first free Nina Azarova. Integrate with Nina. You will become whole. You must face your fear.
She's gotta drown again?
Help.
I really hate water.
You have to go back to the moment of your greatest trauma.
It's interesting that when she was trying to explain the dimension travel to Kareem was closed-minded, but when she was trying to explain the traveler thing to OA had an open mind and is trying to learn. What's happening to him? I don't know what happened to him. Was that like a psychic wall or something that he ran into?
You've put Nina in a box too. Deep in your mind, she's knocking at the door of your dream.
She's gonna drown herself? How could you drown yourself in a bathtub? You know, like your fight or flight would definitely kick in. Oh, that was cool.
Nothing is holding me back.
So it was that moment where she got shot, where she felt it, and that's where she transferred.
Pierre Ruskin.
It's the technology guy,
Hello.
right?
You didn't do anything the way I thought you would. What do you want, Mr. Washington? Yes.
What happened to Michelle Vu?
I don't know.
You kept your fucking game online to lure them into a poison house where they destroyed themselves.
They put a disclaimer in the game.
Yes, they can't give you legal permission to harm them. Dr. Rhodes sends Nina hard evidence exposing your crime. Later, Nina's confined to a mental ward and Dr. Rhodes is dead.
It was a tragedy that Dr. Rhodes took her own life.
Her body was still warm. How exactly do you know she killed herself?
Come with me. I promise I'm not one to waste a man's time.
Nah, but you could kill him in your creepy house.
The entire space race was all about who could put a man on the moon first. It wasn't until after we landed there that we realized the true prize. Looking back at the Earth, a single spot of life, surrounded by darkness. It changed human consciousness forever.
I would love to see the Earth from space one day.
People died getting a man on the moon.
Yeah, but they chose to take that risk.
That seems naive.
It's all about how you look at it, right?
It doesn't matter that we gain that perspective.
It matters how we got there, or else nothing matters.
History is writ by the victors. Whoever survives is how the history books will say how it happened, you know? Sacrifices most of the time aren't acknowledged. Oh, shit. I guess Buck would be Michelle here in this dimension. I forgot about the earworm. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Good God.
It's an earworm. Is it growing? Is it a flower? I think it's a fucking flower. This is how The Last of Us starts. Whoa, what? Why? Don't eat ear flowers, kids. Like, come on.
You set me up.
He said you find my granddaughter.
Your granddaughter's right here.
Michelle is still in the house.
So is her consciousness in the house?
Just one more thing. Did she tell you the story? The dreamers all dreamt of 4 things. A tunnel the size of a coffin, curved double-sided staircase, and a rose window. All the dreamers began to dream of a man's face. So I flew in all the best police sketch artists from around the world.
Is it gonna be
20
Kareem?
odd sketches. The house is calling you. I don't know what it wants to show you, but it's akin to what the astronauts saw when they looked at Earth from the moon.
Some of these people should not be sketch artists. Did you see that one that just looked like scribbles? Although there was that one guy that was caught by that terrible sketch. You probably remember it.
Tell Dr. Percy Nina Azarova is here to see him.
Oh, so she was able to, like, cohabitate with Nina? This episode was very confusing for me. Alright, everybody, this was the OA Season 2, Episode 7, Nina Azarova. I feel like this entire episode felt the most like Season 1, where I was just so lost and confused, and I feel like the most of the episode I'm just like, We get Kareem bringing the cops into the house, and they find out that there's like a mercury gas leak or something, and that's making them hallucinate. And then he ends up going to the tech dude's house, and he finds Michelle, who I guess her body is there, but her mind is still trapped in the house, if that's what they're saying. And he had a sketch artist draw the same face from like 20 different perspectives, and it was all Kareem's face. So I guess that's like, you know, the house drawing him in to maybe find Michelle, or I'm not even sure. As far as the OA goes, she was talking to another traveler, another angel, I guess. And again, does this go into the show The Travelers? Is this like is Travelers a continuation of the OA? Because like maybe the OA is just about one traveler, and once she figures out who she is, then she goes and joins them or something. I'm not sure. This traveler tells her that she's not in like synchronization with Nina, so she has to figure out how to do that. And you know, she goes underwater and tries to like force her, because I guess like she doesn't, like he's like that one dude said in that tunnel, I don't like water, and then he pops up just covered in water. But she kind of like forced herself under the water into what makes her nervous and scared, and that's what I guess made her see Nina's tragedy and her trauma through Nina's eyes, maybe, as she was a child, and that's how they were able to synchronize. I don't know, this was so confusing. And now Hap and the OA are intrinsically connected. She said that Hap was the OA's shadow, so like if there's a good, there has to be a bad. It's like the yin to her yang kind of thing. This episode was the most convoluted and confusing for me, but I feel like it's setting up the finale, which is going to be next episode. I'm gonna go jump into that right now because I gotta know how this ends. So anyway, guys, if you like this reaction and want to keep seeing more just like it, please make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm and subscribe, and hit that little bell in the corner because it'll tell you when my next video comes out, which is usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I also do some bonus videos and barely stream. And if you guys want to support the channel financially, the Patreon and everything else is down below. And with the Patreon, you're gonna get these reactions full length in a week or weeks before the YouTube audience. For example, right now, today, you can already go and check out the OA series finale, as well as patron exclusive series, polls, and movies. So if that interests you, please go check that out. If not, they'll be up here at some point. And yeah, thank you so very much for joining me, guys. You know I love and appreciate every single one of you. And remember, if you're going to go outside, wear a mask, don't be an ass, and I will see you all next week for the series finale of the OA. Take it easy, guys.
I was just thinking the same thing, you know?